Okay, so what's the point of the little season? I think that's a big question a lot of people have.
Mm, yes.
And I was talking to a friend last night, and we were talking about Job.
Mhm.
And say the thing you just said.
That I keep coming back to, the reason we're here in the little season is that for some reason it's pleasing to God to have us maintain the faith amidst all else going on, whatever onslaught, that we maintain the faith, and that somehow in the end the Lord will make his name known amongst the heathen, to use the Ezekiel example that's already passed. That's why we're here, that we'll maintain and eventually will be an example of the Lord God existing or something.
This conversation I
Imagining.
had, it was with Ricardo. It was about how it like turned it on its head. Like sometimes we feel like we're just floundering and we're barely making it. But the idea that some of us don't believe Satan despite all his best efforts, his
Mm-hmm.
mountain of deception, and we still see through it. It's almost like this, like to God, where he's like, way to go, guys. I
Mm-hmm.
knew some of you would come through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to be puffed up and happy, just to go, there's really a lot of, I just talked to another guy tonight. He's like, I don't know why God showed this to me. I'm a drug addict. I had this problem. His life story was like, I was raised in a atheist, God hating, liberal family.
Mm.
He's like, and then God showed me this. And he's like, I don't know why. I'm not trying to say we get to be um, puffed up by this, but
Mm-hmm.
that there's despite everything Satan has done, his best efforts, some of us are still clinging to God's word, have seen through the lies,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes God happy.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, it's not like we have to be some superstars just to see through it.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all we feel like we can do is just be like, well, we know.
And it's an ongoing every day, especially with like growing children. It's like, okay, are we okay with this? Do we allow this? Let's unpack this one. Let's see,
Yeah.
where's the line of like how to engage with the world or not? And how do we do this? How do we keep living?
How do
It's
we
like
keep living?
enough
Right.
to
And
just try and answer that every day.
we got some really great, hopefully, news today just about like God always making a way
Mm-hmm.
for us to survive in the little season. And we don't talk a lot of personal and family things anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because that's not been good for us to do that. So we've got to have some privacy on some of those things. But um, God makes a way. Sometimes we feel like we go right up against a brick wall,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden the brick wall just like can fall down.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, well, we thought that brick wall was like impenetrable,
Yeah.
and it's not. If God wants to move it, now some other times there are brick walls, and we go, we don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but I just love that idea that this, like, we're doing it just to see through the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's no more to do. It's just
Yeah,
it's
I
just
just wonder sometimes if that's it.
yeah.
I Because we are always trying to answer that question of what are we supposed to do with our lives and our what we've been given. And
Right. And and like this guy tonight that I was talking to, it's kind of um why us? And
mm-hmm.
then you almost feel like this is like this there's more, and it's like, well, just keep talking about it. And he's alone about it, and so, and Beth and I, we try to do this for camaraderie in the little season. So
Mm-hmm.
um
Yeah, and even though we can talk to each other, we wanted to talk to more people, which is why we started talking to the internet
right.
way back. Yeah, not way back, whatever,
Yeah, you always
a
say
few
talk to
years
the
ago.
internet. That sounds a little creepy.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's how you worded it. Cause like we were just like, what? Does anyone else even think this? We were like coming up empty, searching, and you were like, I'm gonna just talk to the internet, and you were like, can I make a
Yeah.
YouTube video? How does this work? And
How
he
does
just
this work?
starts like hitting buttons.
Right. And I remember actually the moment, because I was so new to it, discovering it made me want to find people that believed it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Because first of all, that could help sort of be like, yeah, have I lost my marbles? Or anybody else lost their marbles? If they have they lost it in the same way? Oh man, another reason why we believe what we believe is like, how could a bunch of us, you guys included, have lost our minds in the exact same ways? You know,
Yeah.
it's like when they say schizophrenia isn't a demonic thing. It's like, well, why are the demonic voices all saying like the same
thing.
things?
Right.
It's very like little season stuff. This progression of things, and so many times it's a very similar like 2020 right now. And so
the people who don't agree with us are going to say, yeah, you all have an evil spirit collectively.
I guess
But
I heard that too as I was saying it.
As you were saying it, but too bad it goes along with so many verses of the Bible. That's the real like kicker there, I guess.
Well, and then here's the like at first, that was 4 years ago, 5 years ago maybe, when I was just talking to the internet. Now, because I wanted to know that there are other people that believed it.
And now we know we're talking to lots of real people.
Now we know we're talking to people, but we also, I don't feel like I need the affirmation that other people see it. It's just going, now that we see stuff, how do we like survive this time? Because it is rough to go through day after day of like, you believe crazy things. What was it recently where, well, today Nova Scotia banned hiking in the woods. And because of forest fires for the next 2.5 months, they said you just can't go hiking in the woods. $25,000 fine. And like I got some tightness in my chest, and it reminded me of COVID, where you were like, what the heck's going on here? And it's not that I believe anything they say, but I see that people are dumb enough to go along with it, so that we do have to stick out like a sore thumb again. And Nova Scotia is real close to Maine, and Maine's crazy state.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
People used to think California's a crazy state. No, Maine. We have passed them. I think we passed New York.
We just don't have the population, but as far as like the decisions governmentally, it's totally
Maine
insane.
has become a transplant. It's all just Massachusetts people and
We're worse than Massachusetts.
Worse than Massachusetts.
I mean, Massachusetts still has like exemptions for vaccines, for example.
Yeah.
Here in Maine, no.
Yeah.
So something like that. It's like we really are like
we're setting. We are like piloting all the dumbest decisions you can make.
There you go. I like that.
Let's see how this goes. Let's see if we can ruin this state.
We'll try it on some smaller cities in Maine first before they bring it to the others.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I think that tightness in the chest. I mean, I always feel like I'm not sure how much I can even watch any sort of news items like this, because it does, raise the cortisol, create the upsetness.
Yeah, it triggers. Yeah, and despite this not making any sense. Okay, let's talk about wildfires for a second.
That was one of our themes. We were going to just talk about all the things that don't make any sense anymore.
Let's talk about fires. So it was maybe 2 years ago. Okay, so first of all, I'm old enough to remember a time when Canada wasn't always on fire. Okay.
Oh,
and let me say fire because
it's really recent.
Yeah, I grew up in Canada.
Yeah.
And never wildfire smoke. And I was in Ontario, right on the St. Lawrence River. Never remember even a fire ban. Okay. So, but let's just back up. I think it was 2 years ago is when they started saying that Quebec was on fire. And it was like May and June at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and they have the same weather pattern as us in Maine,
Mm-hmm.
and it rained like 24 out of 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
We had set records of rain. It was the soggiest, wettest. Our yard, everything was mud.
You like couldn't start a fire if you wanted to.
No. You could douse a tree in gasoline, light it up. It would just poof out. Okay, it would blow up, but it wouldn't spread. Okay, that was the year they told us Quebec was burning up
And
north.
we know because we burn stuff.
Oh yeah, we burn stuff all the time.
Yeah.
There was no way Quebec would actually have a forest fire right there. Like I was like the weather, like how all the storms just come right straight up,
Mm-hmm.
and plus that time of year in our area is just it's swampy.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way that's true. Now so it wasn't forest fires, and if it were, they were definitely very aggressively starting them. It wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be like whoops, something an accident and it spread.
And then it wouldn't become out of control. Like we also have lived out west and we saw what it was like to live with very low humidity and no rain for a very long time. And then you see how, sure, you start a fire and it does go quickly. And then you do have hundreds of acres on fire and all this. Not over here.
Yeah, and there's no way it was what it was. But you see how they've done this. If you live out east, at least they've done this thing where they call it wildfire smoke, wildfire smoke,
Mm-hmm.
wildfire smoke. So despite the fact that like either there aren't fires or like if they are, they're creating a fire, but then they're actually dumping crap on us
Right.
and then calling it smoke, and it doesn't even smell like smoke. And you
this,
go, well, how does wildfire smoke? Like I remember the map one time said it's not dangerous near the fire. It goes up and then it comes down, and you go,
sorry.
it's just like spinning on a globe or something. You go, okay, if you say so. That the closer you are to the fire, the less dangerous it is. And then, but you go over to New York City or Boston, and all of a sudden it's like super bad
Mm-hmm.
air quality. And I go, they're just poisoning people and seeing if they're dumb enough to believe that it's wildfire smoke.
They're putting stuff in the air.
Yeah, they're putting stuff in the air.
We lived in Colorado with wildfires, and yes, sometimes smoke would go, how far away would that be? Not many miles away would you experience some smoke in the air.
Well,
To say that the smoke goes hundreds and hundreds of miles and, like you said, sort of jumps hundreds of miles and
right,
then
clear
descends,
skies in Vermont, yeah, and then just way bad where the people live. That's where it's bad. And I do think they'll get more and more. They could even fake volcanoes. We just saw a picture of it was a it was a bridge in California over a river that was on fire. Okay, it was just a still. It was just a picture.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, they said there was no way to stop it, and I thought, well, you know what? If a decent pump and somebody on a boat with a decent pump and a generator, and you just a fire hose, I could have stopped that.
One
Tell
guy
you what,
with some equipment.
there's just no way to stop it. It's like it was literally the bridge is sitting in water, so all you have to do is just spew it. And it's an old world, some people don't recognize what old world bridges look like, but those timbers, those creosote soaked logs that last forever in railroad tracks, these bridges that they make out of the lattices of them, those are old world. Not everything was insanely beautiful, but those are old world bridges. They don't build them like that anymore, and they never did in our recent past. That's an heirloom from the past, and so they needed to burn that down. And I think that all these things to just mess with us. But where was I going with that?
Well, the whole thing. Are you talking about that image still, or just?
Oh yeah, the
burning in
image
general?
of it burning. Bethany pointed out that every single lattice looked the exact same amount on fire,
Mm-hmm.
as if like they just all simultaneously, this whole long length of them. And I was like, it's not even a real picture of
That's
the bridge.
not how burning occurs, unless they were all like sprayed with gasoline, and then it would go
Yeah, then it would be very even.
very even fire of it. Yeah.
But yeah, it would spread from one side to the other, not all simultaneous burn. It's like, I loved one comment was, when I'm doing like the duh moments, and they said 3 buildings, 2 planes. It's like, duh, yeah, 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
3 buildings came down, 2 planes. You do the math.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how dumb are some people? Yeah, yeah. It's like, and people will regurgitate whatever the professionals say,
Mm.
despite this. It's wildfire smoke.
Well, and even something like that, like burning, I also think that how you live your life, like how many people see fire burning anything on a regular, basis?
Yeah,
We do, because we heat with wood. You know what a piece of wood looks like when it's on fire, and what a wet piece of wood looks like when it's trying to burn, and what a super dry piece, and what a diesel soaked piece
well,
might look like. People don't even know what they're looking at,
right.
nor do they
Well, people
care to engage. But
have not only lost touch with, I think, the deadening effect of believing, first of all, watching movies
mm,
and not reminding yourself how fake things are,
mm,
then watching spaceships go up and going, no, that's not how things behave.
yeah,
In my life, I know nothing that wastes tons and tons. Like, if only the spaceship looked like 50 school buses, right?
mm,
This is probably equivalent weight, like
yeah,
50 school buses, yellow school buses, and then you shoot some fire out the bottom. You'd be like, that will never go. That would never
or
go into
go
the air.
in like a calculated
Yeah,
slow, like
yeah. But because it's like NASA's spaceship, you go, that's how it works.
oh,
Or
that's
it's
how it
Elon
works. Yeah.
Musk's, and these things are tons and tons and tons, they say. And they still do this. I love it, especially when they're falling down, and then they just sort of right themselves with a little purple
Yeah,
flame that
and then
blows
they
out.
like come down perfectly.
We we just believe like ludicrous things.
Mm-hmm.
The AI pictures of fire, see through some of this stuff, but they are burning things down and taking away our infrastructure, and then trying to get us not to hike in the woods. Like, and I do think they're probably gonna do more just incredibly obnoxiously dumb things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what do
Well,
we do,
no, yeah,
guys?
maybe.
We gotta make it, right? Because not believing is enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, believing in Jesus and believing in the Bible, that's necessary. But I mean, not believing Satan's thing and believing the Bible, that's enough. We don't have to, like, I'm not trying to have a really low bar, but just
But
there's,
that's what I keep thinking about, though, is maybe the bar really is that low, because we've been so filled with futurist type thinking that now realizing that's not even our time. And once again, we're not trying to go out and reach every part of the world that has happened. People know the name of Jesus. um then it's like, well, what's left? But then you realize, again, so much of the Bible is keeping the faith, following God amidst temptation, lies, other gods.
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Somebody recommended the movie Nefarious to me, and I watched it, and man, what a wildly crazy movie about a guy who's on death row, who is demon possessed, and the demon ends up talking with this physician, and exposing a lot of how they gain control of a person.
Mm.
And it's kind of like Screw Tape Letters, um, but in Hollywood style or movie style.
Mm.
And even though like the movie's it's kind of raw, it's kind of harsh.
Yeah,
It
I didn't watch it.
it talks about some stuff about how like the demon gains traction in a person's life, and then in more and more permission, and sometimes in subtle ways where you like, did I make that agreement? Did I?
Mm.
But you did, because temptation, and you just said avoiding temptation, because I think when you give into temptation, there's some there's some part of you that's agreeing to Satan's thing
Mm.
over what's real, and like, we always wonder which people are the part of the controller world, and which people are, have given into temptation enough that they're brainwashed, that um, they can't see simple things,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know. Like, people may say they never consciously decided to align with these satanic things, but yet they have in certain ways.
Mm-hmm.
And when they start making compromises on the Bible, like, it's figurative, like that's a compromise
Mm-hmm.
that ends with them like agreeing with Satan's satanic stuff.
Well, I think then you can just put the Bible in your face, like in one compartment. As soon as you say this is just figurative and just like be a good person the rest of the week and check a few boxes on Sunday and then like done,
Mm-hmm.
that can allow a whole lot of wiggle room.
Yep.
And not solid answers. Like, I think when trials come, like, I think that's why, you know, we struggle with how much are we protected from things in this world and how much like sort of suffering do we have to go through.
Mm.
And the thing is, though, the trials, maintaining faith through trials is something that God asks of people.
I think we've already been through our trial, baby. I think we've suffered enough. So no more for me.
Well,
No more. I'm done. I'm done.
no more for me. It
No.
sounds like a Maine slogan. Everything is like me, because Maine, me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um.
Well,
So
we were just saying the other day, hopefully we don't have to go through a lot more, but like Job did, even when everything keeps getting taken away and it gets worse and worse and worse, what are we left with?
yeah.
This is still the only answers that we can come up with, and
Oh.
that we know they're true, even if all the worst things happen.
Right, and that sounds pretty weak to be like, this is the best we can come up with. I don't mean it to sound like that it's like it's pretty weak, but that's it. It makes sense.
It makes sense.
And this is all that we could ever come up with.
Mm-hmm.
And but then I was listening to My Lunch Break today. He did an episode about is it Fall River, the cathedral out there in Massachusetts. Okay, Fall River, guys. We used to live in Putnam area, Connecticut, Dayville,
Mm-hmm.
and we would go to Providence. Remember, this is where Bethany grew up.
Mm-hmm.
Providence. The reason that's been taken over by those other people
Mm-hmm.
Is because Rhode Island had so many buildings. They had to ghetto it up and destroy it and wipe it right out.
And if you know your U.S. history, Rhode Island is supposed to be this terrible place of rebels and jailbirds. There shouldn't be anything wonderful there.
Yeah, but anyhow, Beth and I wandered into Providence one time. Went to an ice and fire thing, and I just was like, this is a long time ago, 15 years ago. Was Perrin alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
More like
12 years ago.
12 years ago,
Didn't have a clue, but I just remember being like, what are all these buildings doing here? What's going on? This is, you're driving underneath buildings. You're popping out. It's Rhode Island.
The river goes under it all, but has this amazing river walk and all these bridges.
And then you've got those all those mansions out there. Newport mansions. Yep. Is that Newport, Rhode Island?
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Oh Oh my gosh, the mansions there. Okay, and just a little sidebar. Hopefully, I don't lose track of where I'm at. But there's this one mansion that was for sale, and it was 17 giant stone rooms, and they said they
Oh
moved it
yeah.
from New York to um, Providence or wherever
Newport, yeah.
Newport, and they put it back stone by stone, and it had a whispering gallery where you could whisper on one side, and this is like, just this is like 40,000 square foot house,
Yeah,
and you could
ballroom
whisper
or
in one
whatever.
side, and it would go through, and then you could hear it on the other, like it was
Yeah.
designed this way. And the idea of taking it apart and moving it is like, it's so ludicrous.
Yeah, it's just
It's like the
really
rocket,
funny.
like righting itself. It's like not going outside to stop forest fire, then not being able to
But they
hike.
can't explain why it's there or how it was built there. So then
They
the
make up,
last ditch is like, it came by boat in pieces and
yeah,
was reassembled here.
or
Same thing with the bridge
the
in
bridge, like, yeah,
Arizona,
the Havasu,
Havasu.
yeah, okay. They said there was a London bridge that they brought over. Okay, so here to get this London bridge was failing,
Mm.
so they needed to, instead of fix it, they were going to take it apart, bring it to Arizona,
Carefully coated for
yeah,
reassembly.
and rebuild it there, which it's still in there today.
Yeah.
And so they said they did this in like 1909 or something.
Yeah, of course.
So instead
Ox
of fixing it
carts,
where it was, they tore it down and then rebuilt it.
disassembled it, put it on ships, then hauled it by ox carts, and then reassembled it there.
No,
And
there's trains by now.
and
It's
you can
1909.
even see
Yeah.
the numbers for like
Yeah.
putting it back together.
Okay, so then you're gonna say, well, what's the truth? The truth is, they tore down a bridge in England, and that one was always there. Okay, so this is, they always do this. Like, if
Unrelated.
let's say there's a courthouse that they're like, oh, there was 4 other courthouses before this one, and they each burned down. Well, no, what they've done is they've destroyed 4 buildings for the price of one. They said this was the first courthouse. Oh yeah, you remember that one? Yeah, gone. Then the second one. Oh, and they could do this in a year. They could just snap their fingers and it was done.
Of course.
So anyhow, back to Fall River. Lunch break guy said that he found a picture of the cathedral that was built in 1891 in 1864. So it's like predates what it went, and it was supposedly built in a year. And so, again, just thrashing the narrative, just beating it senseless, like Mike Tyson, just like boom, 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 and like the historical narrative is just like just pieces just flying off. It's so obscene. It's so obscene that, like, I always still have hope that some people would like watch that and go, oh wow, that got my attention. This doesn't make sense. Like when we see this stuff, I have totally lost my train of thought. It is pretty late. It's almost 10. Oh, we shouldn't be doing videos this late. We gotta go put our children
And
to
I
bed.
am yawning a lot.
So anyhow, I'll just finish up here because I forget what I was gonna say about that.
Oh, let's see.
I'd have to rewatch it, but I still can't do that.
I start with Fall River, these buildings,
Oh,
historical narrative.
all this stuff just reiterates that, like, they are hiding something in our past.
Yeah.
They're hiding it. We know why they're hiding it now. Now we know why they're doing this.
Right.
Like, what is this just the best we got? It's not only the best we got, it is what completes all the unfinished sentences. We're like, that's why that, that's why that, that's why that.
Incongruencies.
That's why they're keeping people out of the woods. It's like, what's Nova Scotia thinking? It's like, oh, this is the season of deception. So not only are they going to do that, they're going to do something obscene in your state where you're like, oh, there they go. There they go. And we got to keep our keep our heads.
And things like, why are there hundreds and hundreds of denominations within Christ followers? It's like, that's always been a huge mystery to me my whole life. And now we have some answers for that, at least. Like, well, all of these false teachers or deceived people are grappling with the fact that there's no supposed evidence of Jesus returning, and we're still waiting all these years. And they've gone many different routes with it and come up with many different things to obsess over and many different traditions of man to follow. And it's like, how did all of this happen? Is just one of them right? Well, then which one? Let's like clean the slate here. You know? I mean, there's so many things like that I think of too that, like, yeah, I don't mean it as a bad thing. This is all we got, but just like you get down to the bare bones, and this is what you have.
What you got?
That's what you have.
You got the Bible.
Yeah.
Can I talk about my favorite comment ever in the history of comments?
Oh
Because I want to use this for the video.
no. Okay.
Okay.
This keeps ending up on all the deleted videos.
Yeah,
so
right.
He keeps
So I'm gonna use it this time.
Okay, this is keeper.
Okay. So my favorite comment to date, by far, said, "You're supposed to wash your wife in the Word, not deceive her with nonsense." So anyhow, and I changed it because I think it's better. Wash your wife in the Word. Don't bathe her in nonsense. I think he should have taken a little more time. That would have come to him.
Really completed the metaphor.
But yeah, you gotta wash yourself in the Word. Not only that, you gotta wash your wife in the Word. You gotta read the Bible, right? A lot of these things where we get lost, following something crazy. It's I'm studying a lot of things about Revelation, talking to a lot of people about different things, and all you got to do is just get back into Revelation, read it, and go, oh yeah, of course. Ricardo and I were talking, and there's some things where like, yeah, like of course, like this makes too much good sense. So it's straightforward,
right, and it's right there.
Yeah,
and
really you don't need like I don't need to explain Revelation to anyone. Just read it. Read Revelation.
Yeah. And then if you know it, your little brochure there, for example, that just combines all these things that aren't combined, puts them in different order, then you're like, what? No, that's not what it says.
Right.
As simple as that, but we do have to keep studying it and know it. And,
Wash your wife in the Word. There we go. Now I can use that for the title.
Okay.
All right, that's it.